So I'm a chiropractor out of Marietta, Ohio. Just this tiny little town on the border of West Virginia.
Now, Jess, I wanted to jump on this call with you because I had our team run some of the numbers that we did from January of this year to the end of May. And the revenue that's been collected as a direct result from the ads looks like about $113,000 collected thus far. That's not including any of the bookings that were booked in May bleeding into June. So these are all people that have come in, showed up, and essentially spent money with you guys. So it's a huge, huge accomplishment. And I wanted to ask you, when you first started, what were some of the expectations and what did you think was going to happen when we first started?
Well, honestly, I came to you guys. I had already been using another marketing firm,
Mm.
and I was feeling very frustrated with the way things were going with them. And so I needed something fresh. We had a new machine coming in, and I was really tired of leads coming in the door, and they weren't quality leads. We never saw anything from that because the way that that marketing team got paid was for everybody who purchased something to come into our office to use, that money all went to them. So even if I had to offer refunds, things like that, that was just more money that I was like kind of bleeding out, right? So I, got a hold of you guys and realized that at least if the way that things were structured with you guys is that at least if somebody came in the door, I wasn't gonna lose.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
wasn't gonna be like bleeding money out. So we made the switch over. Well, we kind of were going dual for a little bit,
Mhm,
where you guys were running my ads for the T-shape,
mhm.
and then I was still using this other company trying to get out of that contract. And they, I mean, it was just not a great experience. That was not a great experience.
Yeah.
I learned a lot though. So, nothing comes without some learning. And so getting switched over to you guys with multiple modalities, multiple ads running has been just a godsend because it literally, you handle everything on the back end.
Mhm.
So a lead comes in, I don't see that. I don't have to even touch any of that until they walk into our door.
Yep.
And everything is cohesive. And so that to me is invaluable. Being a sole practitioner, I am doing it all, right? So I don't have time to be answering leads and following up
Oh
and
yeah.
getting them scheduled and everything like that. And your team has been amazing. Well, I should call them our team because I feel like we're all family here.
Oh yeah.
Um, has been like so easy to work with once I'm able to say like, hey, this is how our system runs,
Mhm.
and this is how you can see like who's available to put who where, and even if you've had change of staff on your end, they're very good about like conveying like
Yeah.
this is what's going on with this practice, which I think is huge because honestly, I feel like I'm your only practice. So you're doing
Yes.
a great job of making me feel like I'm the only one, right?
Yeah.
Which means I feel like I'm getting all that attention, which means my patients are, which is giving them a great experience from start to finish.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And what's crazy too, Jess, is the fact that when we first started, if you remember, we actually started out on a 2 week trial. If you remember that. So we reached out and we are like, hey, don't even believe what I'm saying. Don't believe anything else. Just give the trial period a shot. I think you spent like $1,000. If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, it was like 2 weeks, $1,000. And I think in that 2 weeks, Jess, I think you collected like 12 or 13,000 bucks. And I was like, this is a home run. We gotta keep it going. So from that point, I think your location was awesome. But I wanted to ask you, a lot of locations get nervous about handing that process off around like, hey, being the first person that contacts my brand new clients, I want to set the expectations right. I want to make sure we're saying the right things and conveying things correctly. How has that experience been, and how has it been kind of like letting go of that process? Say, hey, I'm going to trust it. Just bring the people in. I trust it's gonna work correctly.
So it's so funny because I don't trust very easily. And part of my New Year's resolution that I did, I wrote out, 11 intentions, and the last one was that I was going to trust the
Yeah.
help, that I can receive help and that that's going to be okay. And it came very easily. Being burned by other companies in the past, feeling
Mhm.
like the only way I can know that I can get it done right is by doing it myself
Yep.
is a very, I know a lot of practitioners feel that way. It's hard to let go of some of the reins so that other people could come in and do what naturally we want them to do,
Yeah.
and do it to the standard that we have. So, it has been amazing working with you guys because we go over everything, and I can tell you, okay, these are my expectations that I have. This is what I want my patients to feel. This
Mhm.
is how I want this to be conveyed, and you guys are already professionals in what you do. And so if there was anything that needed tweaking, it was just a quick message like, oh, hey, we noticed like this doesn't seem right, or we need to convey this instead, even if it's like directions getting to the office.
Yeah.
And your team is so quick to be like, okay, we'll get that changed up. We only had one hiccup that where we had a patient who thought that they were coming in and receiving more treatments than what they had paid for.
Mhm.
And so that again was a quick message to you guys saying like, hey, what ad are they seeing
Mhm.
that is making them think this way? And then we look at it and go, oh yeah, maybe that could be misconstrued as like more than one appointment. So
Yeah.
it was a very quick fix, right? We got that fixed, we got that changed so that maybe unintentional misleading of what was happening um was corrected immediately. So um even with things like that happen,
Mhm.
you guys are very responsive and very easy to be like, oh yes, like attentive, let's get that fixed and change that up. So
Mhm.
um and it's crazy because I know the number that you have is probably not a complete accurate description of what we really did. But January was, as a chiropractor, January, February are going to be our slowest months. And I had the best month that I had the entire year, the previous year.
Awesome.
So,
Heck yeah.
and I've already to date made more money this first quarter, than I did the whole previous year. And that is like so, I mean, that is such a huge like kudos to the marketing team because I wouldn't have those leads bringing them in if I didn't have you guys. Because to be quite honest, trying to figure it all out. I don't have to try to figure anything out. You
Mhm.
got it handled for me.
Yeah.
And so that's the best part is that I don't have to try to learn an algorithm or anything else to try to figure out how to best contact people and then how to funnel leads. Like it just, you do it and they just show up. And then I get to do the thing that I do best, which is interact with them.
Yep.
So
100%. And you do a great job. I mean, the amount of package upsells, you're doing a bang up job. So definitely have to pat yourself on the back because it's a little bit tough, especially if you're going from chiropractic to like an aesthetic service like that.
yeah.
Definitely kind of more of a shift, like a mindset, emotional shift. So you're doing a bang up job. So we can't take all the credit there. You're phenomenal there.
Well, thank
Um,
you.
but Jess, I do have one last question for you. For anybody that's kind of on the fence with like, hey, should I give growth now a try? Or hey, I don't know if I should take this step and even do like a trial with them. What would you say to that person?
Freaking do it. I would say another word, but I'll try to keep it PG, but do it. You know, it was the best decision that I ever made for my clinic. I mean, and again, I was using other marketing teams, and it's hard because we're flooded. I get probably messages on a daily basis like, "Hey, do you want to do advertising with us? This, that, and the other."
Oh
The
yeah.
fact that you give us, a 2 week trial to kind of see,
Mhm.
that's all I needed, you know,
Yeah.
and it's hard because I know there has to be a little bit of like um I don't know, that like gut feeling when you're doing the right job, right? Where it's like, oh gosh, we jump into this market, what if the market's not there? And
Yeah.
then,
Oh yeah.
that reflects on what we're doing, right? So I'm in a small town, like there's not a lot of people. So for me to and there's a ton of med spas. So for me to be able to get the quality leads and the amount of times I see people say like, oh, I saw your ad. Oh, I saw your ad. Like, yeah. And then I'll say, well, did you see the other ad for this and that? And
Yeah.
and um and it's so professional that they almost think that it's fake, right? So like I'm like, no, it's real.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
so and the fact that they get to talk to a real person always is, helpful. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell anybody, like, take the chance. I mean, everything's a risk in business.
Hmm.
And you could spend the $1,000 on an ad spend, do a 2 week trial with you guys, or however you're set up nowadays. And if it fails, it fails, and then right? But it's not going to.
Yeah.
But let's just say, right? Well, if you even bring in two leads, it's going to more than probably cover, and you convert them, right? It's going to more than cover the cost of what you just had, and then you can start to trust the process.
Yep.
So, but sometimes you have to just take a leap of faith and go with it. And so I would say, now that I know you guys, I highly recommend you to other people. All of my colleagues that are across the United States that are wanting to start to do this, I tell them all, like, you need a good marketing team, and I'll give you mine because they're awesome. So, and that's the truth of it, is like, take the chance, just do it. Like, you will either be at the same place that you are,
Yep.
or you will just start your like trajectory of like incredible growth. So I don't know, in a place where we have to take risks, why not risk it a little
Yeah.
bit here and have a huge payout? So
Heck yeah. Well, I love that, Jess. Once again, thank you so much for jumping on this call. You're doing a phenomenal job. I'm so glad we're able to even have this call where you're like, man, basically doubling your income from last year. It's basically what's trajecting right now. So that's phenomenal.
yeah,
Absolutely phenomenal.
exactly. And hopefully we'll check in at the end of the year too on numbers, and I'll be able to say, like, we just like quadrupled what we did last year or
Yeah.
more,
No,
you
100%.
know?
That's definitely going to be the next call. 100%.
Yeah.
It's going to be the next call. 100%. Well,
Yes.
Jess, I do appreciate your time. Thank you so much. I'll let you get back to your vacation and have
Thank
a
you.
great day, and I'll talk to you soon. All right.
Awesome. Thanks, Andrew.